festivalcircuit.com and the director of the Oregon Short Film Festival. We've got an event coming up at the Clinton Street Theater on October the 14th. That's a Friday, showing a variety of films from animation to comedy to dark comedy to science fiction to horror films. We got everything. We got a great mix for you at Oregon Short Film Festival. All the newest and hottest things coming out on the film festival circuit. We're joined by director Aaron Hobson today. Hey, Aaron.
How you doing?
Good. I want to congratulate you on being nominated for Best Drama Microfilm. The Dedicated Artist is your film, and it's really impressed the judges. Thank you for sending that to us.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate you guys taking a look at it and just having a lot of fun with it. And it's nice to know that it's being watched.
Well, it's definitely going to have the event is nearing a sellout 30 days in advance. So it's definitely going to have an impact here in Oregon. So you're going to have a whole lot of people watching your movie pretty soon. We're excited, but I want people to get an understanding of what they're going to see on that screen. So can you please give us a synopsis in your own words?
The brief synopsis is a young artist works on her most daunting painting yet, pushing her to the limits. But how far is she willing to go? So that's the brief synopsis. But basically, it's just about an artist just testing her limits and pushing, just because that's what she's passionate about.
What kind of artist?
In the movie, she's a painter.
Okay.
But again, I wanted to create that parallel because I think that goes across all types of art, all art mediums, whether it's filmmaking or singer or a painter or sculptor or whatever. It's always that battle with the artist and their work and trying to make sure it's perfect or trying to make it the best it can be. Everybody understands that struggle if you're an artist. So that's what I wanted to exemplify.
Why create this specific film? You were inspired by something to put your time, effort, and energy into this. What was it? Well,
I think there's two things I could say is if you're more asking like a film influence, because there's like a film influence and a personal influence. I kind of like merging those two together.
We got time for both.
Okay. Film influence was definitely, the personal influence is like kind of what I just mentioned in terms of like, oh man, when you're making a film at all phases, pre-production, filming, post-production, pre-production, you're writing, you're trying to get the right draft, and then filming, you're trying to make sure you work with everything you got based off the resources you have in a limited amount of time. And post-production it's my favorite because I like to edit, and if I had to pick a niche, like I'm an editor, that's my bread and butter, but a lot of people find it to be a tedious process. But for me, that's like me grinding and cutting and putting it together. It's like solving a big puzzle. And I was like, okay, if I can I almost want to find another art form that can show that same grind, because I think at least with a painter, visually, it's a lot easier to digest visually. It's a lot easier to kind of see and feel, at least in my opinion, when you're painting and really, you kind of get that visual. I think that's
sure.
What I'm trying to get across. So I think that on camera looks better than at least from my background. I'm not saying all arts can't be in a film, but I thought that was the one that worked best. And then the film influence was I'm a big Martin Scorsese fan. He had a short film called The Big Shave, and it came out in the 60s. This is when he was an up-and-coming filmmaker in NYU. And he was basically, it was a movie about a guy shaving, really. But when he was shaving so hard that it was like bleeding and this and that. And it was like really, it was a short film. It was very powerful. And then that was like his message on the Vietnam War at the time. It was like early, mid to late, somewhere in the 60s. So I was like, okay, I feel like I can do that based off what I feel and what I want to say, at least for art. I'm not going to comment on awards or anything like that, but it's just like that's at least the film influence in terms of, hey, how effective can it be in a short amount of time that people can not necessarily not have to sympathize, but they can empathize with, especially if you're an artist.
Excellent. All right. Well, what did you learn during the production of this? I feel like every film is a little bit of film school. What did you learn?
Yeah. Work with what you got. Work with what you have. We didn't have a big setup. I mean, like I said, in other short films I made, I was able to maybe use more, I guess, sophisticated cameras like a Red or a Sony camera,
Mhm.
uh, things like that. We used a DSLR. Um, there was an art center about 20 minutes from me that had like one room where they were painting, one room for like sculptures and stuff like that. And then
Mm.
they had a big room in there for a little bit of everything. And we shot in that room. And um, the the actress wasn't she's not naturally a painter. So I had an art person on set who was a really good artist, really good painter. She was kind of coaching her up, and then I was kind of coaching her up and saying, okay,
Mm.
this is how you should look at it and feel and what do you think, and kind of collaborating that way, and then trying to put all that stuff together. And it was really fun. And it was an oil painting, so it took forever to dry. It's in my living room. And it just took forever to dry, at least like the because we had two versions. We had the one she made and then the actual like painting. And
Mm.
she was like covered and like she had paint all over. And but working with what we had, because I wanted it to be very minimal, and it
Mm.
was very minimal. So we were able to make the best of that.
All right. What do you got planned for the future? What's going on next?
Two projects. I actually was shooting. I shot another short film that same summer because um, I shot both of them last summer. Dedicated artists I was able to finish this summer. I have another short called so many shorts. I almost forgot the title of it. Forgive Me, Lord. That's the name of the short. And that one we had more of a plan in terms of like more resources. We used anamorphic lenses and more of a traditional setup. That short is in post production right now. It's being color corrected right now and sound mixed, and it should be finished up in the next few months or so. I'm really excited about that. And then I always have an idea for a future. That's future films. I mean, they're cost an arm and leg to make those things, but I have a few ideas for those, and um, I'm probably going to see what I can do moving forward in terms of making that happen, because I'd love
Mm.
to make a feature film soon.
All right. Well, good stuff, man. This has been great. Sounds like you got a lot going on. But this one, I love that you get into that idea and you get out. It's a really brief, but
Yeah,
a lot of eye candy in your film. So thank you.
yeah, I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing some of the other shorts. I know there's other talented filmmakers that you have on there, and we'll see how the awards goes. I promise I won't be mad if I lose, but I appreciate the honor.
All right, Aaron, take it easy, my friend.
All right.